I'm going to start off with an invocation. Feel free to close your eyes, meditate, and just feel the prayer of getting yourself into the right mood and mindset before we actually start chanting. And once I finish that invocation, we'll start with the mantra that Amrita is going to have on the board. Everyone can feel free to open their eyes, and we're going to start with another prayer, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So a couple of you folks who've been here in the past have probably chanted this a lot. Very common, very powerful as well. So we'll do it together in a call and response format. So I'll sing it, you guys follow along, and once you get the hang of the mantra, again, feel free to close your eyes and really own the mantra inside you. just the first word of this mantra has so much of significance and it has a direct impact on our world and everything that has been created. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very wonderful, Kirtan. When you were saying Om, I felt like I was transported to South India because there, the way they chant. Can you say your Om again?
Om.
No, like the way you're singing it. Yeah, I felt like I was transported to like a South India temple. It was so beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, so what we like to do in our events is infuse a little bit of bhakti yoga wisdom, because yoga traditionally is not just it's not just a practice you do in a studio like this. It's not just yoga asana. It's not just meditation, but it's a deeper kind of way of living that allows us to live like a yogi. There's a beautiful analogy given in the Gita, which is one of the primary books of Bhakti Yoga, and it talks about in the 5th chapter how we can embody the qualities of a lotus. A lotus is able to grow out of muddy water, but at the same time, it's beautiful because the mud doesn't infiltrate. It has a property known as that is known as it's hydrophobic, which means that it repels the mud. So Bhakti Yoga is the process through which we can live like a lotus in a world that increasingly feels like sometimes it's filled with mud. And to do so, there's many different spiritual tools and technologies that we can adapt, ways of life that we can adapt that help us live in this world like a lotus. So today we have Adidev, who will be joining us to give a small 25-30 minute talk going deeper into some of the Bhakti Yoga philosophy. He has been practicing Bhakti Yoga for over 25-30 years. I remember when I was growing up, I actually would attend his classes as a kid. It's a different matter of the fact that I wasn't so interested in it, but I did attend, so hopefully I get some brownie points. But he has this unique ability to take a very complicated, or what can seem like a complicated process, and make it something into very practical and easily digestible. In addition to being a spiritual person, he also worked professionally in the tech industry. And as we all know, the tech industry is a place that people could perhaps use a little bit more spirituality. Oftentimes there's this misconception that being spiritual or being a yogi means that you renounce everything. But that's actually not the case. We're able to actually live in the way we do, but just look at it from a different viewpoint and connect it to something higher. So that being said, we will do a quick 22-second transition, and we will be right back.
Hello everybody. Hare Krishna. My name is Adya Purushadas. Wonderful to see you all. And I hope you enjoyed the Kirtan. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the highlights for me. And like Ayan said, one of the things that is very important apart from Kirtan, because this is multifaceted lifestyle, if you may. Bhakti Yoga is a lifestyle. Right? It's not just something that you do on a weekend, on a Saturday evening, right? But how do we imbibe this as a culture so that we can practice this on an ongoing basis, right? And one of the things as we live our lives and run around chasing dreams and such, what we face is dualities. There's good and the bad. Sometimes the good is also bad because it can distract us from the ultimate goal. So what we are going to learn today, hopefully, and I wish to learn from you as well based on your own experiences. So I would certainly love to hear from you more than me talk to you, because this is, again, group wisdom. How do we come together and learn from each other as well? So how do we navigate this very complex web of so many things that distract us? But first thing is we need to have a goal, right? So imagine that you're actually going for some important event. Maybe it may be like a job interview for some, or maybe it's your own marriage or something, and you're stuck in traffic, right? How will that feel? How many of you have felt, experienced that? Even right now, I think coming over here, there's so much traffic, right? That's sort of, a given everywhere we go. There's so much traffic. There's always some construction or some event going on, and you just can't plan enough to get to where you need to get to. And then also along the way, you want to get some coffee, or this example says movie, but something that gives you pleasure, but you just don't have the time because you need to get to where you need to get to quickly. You're stuck in traffic, and then all these different things that you want to do as well. So how do we deal with all of this on our day-to-day lives? Have you had those experiences? Anybody you want to share? Any event that, something important and you got stuck, or you wanted to, go grab a coffee or some donuts or whatever it may be, and took you just your eyes off the 8 ball just for that moment, and then you go, oh my God, I just forgot about it. Now I need to get back on track. Anything anybody wants to share? Yes?
The marketplace got me on the way over here. Just so many things to see, and the smells and the sights, and I lost track of where we were heading for sure.
Right, and that happens too, right? So we get we get drawn towards some things that gives us pleasure, right? And then we get repelled by things that give us pain. But then we cannot avoid either of them, correct? Because these things are coming all the time along the path that we are trying to head. And if it is just this life, one of the key tenets of Bhakti Yoga is that we have multiple lives. How many of you save for retirement? Almost everybody does. And how far does the savings for retirement take us? Hopefully, given everything that's happening, and uncertainties in the job market and uncertainties in the financial markets and so on and so forth, hopefully it'll take us to this life. But what about next life? Have you ever thought about that? What are we investing in this life for the next life? I'm just taking a pause to let it sink in. Any thoughts? How many of you all think there is a next life? How many of you think there is no next life?
I don't know that this is likely to happen for me in this life, but as I understand it, if I'm truly, how do I say, if I really understand reality, this will be my last life, but otherwise it won't be.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Yes.
As far as investing for the next life in Buddhism, we do what's called dedicating merit. So whenever we finish a practice, we put our hands together, we either say out loud or in our heads, by this virtue may all beings perfect the accumulations of merit and wisdom and achieve the two genuine triads, rising from merit and wisdom, that whole thing. But the idea basically that as long as you have intentions and you're attached in karma and samsara, as long as you put out good intentions to liberate and help and benefit other beings, it's going to help out in your next incarnation because you're creating those karmic conditions for better things to happen.
Sure.
Over it.
Yeah. So put more good in the bank account, you get to draw more good, right? Hopefully. So that's certainly, one aspect of that, right? And also along that journey as well, there can be things that come along the way again, pleasures, pain. There's one verse in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2nd, 14th verse, Matra spasha shukavanteya sitosna sukudukkuda agama payano nitya stanti siksasu bharata. It says that the pain and pleasure, happiness and suffering comes as the seasons change. Like summer and winter, they come over and over again, right? Similarly, pain and pleasure also come over and over again. It's like the waves in the ocean. It never stops. Just keeps on coming, keeps on coming, keeps on coming. So that's how this material world is. And I'm stressing on material world because that denotes there's another world, and that is spiritual, where we don't have any of these dualities. Imagine a world where there's only pleasure or happiness and there's no pain or suffering. What will that look like? And that is the bank account that we want to deposit in. Because the more we deposit into a bank account, even for saving for the next life, it means we take another life and then we go through the same set of pain and pleasure, the dualities and such. So that is where we need to think about what is the ultimate purpose? What is the goal of life? Each of us have a goal in this life, possibly, that I want to make $1 million, or that's not enough these days, but maybe a few. Then what? Then we may come up with another set of goals, right? So whenever you reach a milestone, then you set another milestone, another milestone, another milestone. The picture that comes in my mind whenever I think of it that way is like a hamster wheel. You just keep going and going, and never you don't get the cheese at all. Who moved my cheese? Right? So the way we live in general is we look at what's immediate. We set goals. We try to get reach those goals, and then when we get some pleasure, it's like feels so good. This donut just tastes perfect, or this cup of coffee, whatever it might be for you. So what do we really need is not just the short-term goals. Like there is strategic thinking and then there is tactical thinking coming from the corporate world, right? So strategic is long-term, having a vision, and then tactical is you have steps to get there. So similarly, in our lives, we may have those as well. But what is a strategic thought, right? What is a strategic goal? That we have to be very clear. Then whatever we do, we still need to live our lives. Bhakti Yoga, like Ian said, it's not about just giving up everything and just meditate, right? We are still living our lives. I mean, I come from the technology sector, like you said. So we do need to have our goals. We do need to earn enough to support our family and maybe a little more, hopefully, so that we don't need to worry about having the financial independence and security. And then, of course, we need to have friends, and then we need to have other hobbies and things that can keep us busy. But then also, we need to have a goal in place so that we can actually work towards it. But what is that goal? And that's what the Bhakti tradition and the Vedic tradition help us establish the goal, so that it is the ultimate goal, right? In terms of how do we get to a point where we don't need to deal with these dualities. That's what it helps us do, right? It's like a GPS. When I came here, I put in the address to come here. And then it helped navigate through any road construction, so on and so forth, because they share all this data with the mapping industry and such. So the GPS automatically routes you to avoid those. Similarly, the Bhakti tradition and the Vedic tradition helps us navigate around all of these different challenges that may come our way so that we can still get to our goal in the fastest or the quickest way possible. So the anchor of that is spiritual knowledge in helping set that goal. So one, we need to have a philosophical conviction. It should be nourished by steady and self-guided intelligence. Because we can read a lot, we can hear a lot, but unless we process it ourselves and use our own intelligence in order to set the appropriate goal, it may not work for us. Because this is like if you go to a doctor, the doctor does not give everybody the same medicine. The medicine is very specific for the individual, for their specific issue. So even though multiple people may have the same disease, still each individual will get a different medicine. It's the same thing for spirituality as well. It's based on our own inclinations that we will get a specific medicine in order to make progress. And then secondly, we need to be free from illusion. Now what does that mean? Because everything that we see from a duality standpoint, they are all transient, they are all temporary. But at that moment, when we feel the pain or even pleasure for example, we think that's it. This is the end. But then the Vedic wisdom says that all these are very transient, temporary. So there is pleasure and there is pain. It's like the saying, peace is nothing but a gap between two wars. Right? Overall, there is a lot of pain. When there is no pain, we feel that is pleasure. But there is true pleasure, which is much higher than what we may feel over here. And that is one of the other things that the Bhakti tradition helps us to achieve. So all of this is grounded in the wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita, which is our primary book that we study. And it has practically everything, any question that you may have on life or in existence in general. It has answers to every single question. So today's talk is based on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 20. Na prayashyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya cha priyam, sthira buddhi rasamudo, brahmavid brahmani stitah. What does that mean? So a person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence. So in this particular example that we saw earlier, the movie is the pleasant, or getting a cup of coffee or a donut, right? So it is also temporary. So we don't need, we may have a reaction to it, it tastes good, but then we know that it's going to end. And we also know that I have too much of that, that's also bad for me. Right? And then the traffic, it's unpleasant. Nobody likes the traffic. Anybody here likes traffic? Maybe there are some. Sometimes when I'm listening to a nice podcast or something, I'm like, yeah, I think I like traffic because I can I can listen. I have an excuse at least, right, to listen to the podcast. So even if when there is traffic, we don't lament because we know, yeah, that's a given. So keeping an even keel between pleasure and pain, right? And then knowing what the destination is. So if we know that I have to go to this important event and anything that comes by, if I'm fully focused only on that, anything that comes by shouldn't matter at all because my focus is fully there. Because I know I'll get there. And I planned enough ahead of time. I planned for the traffic, I planned for any other stops along the way that I need to make, and I'm focused. I will get there. So that is that's what this particular verse is trying to say from the Bhagavad Gita. So what we need to do is we need to think it over for ourselves. What is that purposeful journey? What is that purpose for me? That helps us see our present in perspective to that ultimate purpose. So we may have some purpose, like I said, tactical and strategic. So we may have some purpose that is more short-term, that's, much closer to us than something that is further out. But we need to have that purpose in place. So anybody willing to share? What is your purpose? Yes.
To realize my true nature and develop love for God and people around me.
Excellent. Realize my true nature and develop love for God and people around you. Fantastic. So how are you working towards it, if I may ask? What are some of the challenges that you face? Have you got there already? Maybe I'm assuming that you haven't got there already. But.
Definitely not. Daily challenges. I mean, one of my practices is the japa, chanting of the mantras, and I can feel lots of distractions pulling me in different directions every day when I try to sit down and do that. So I have to be very vigilant and proactive to try to stay focused and eliminate those distractions as much as possible. And in trying to love other people, that may be difficult sometimes if they may have a difficult personality and maybe my ego doesn't like maybe how I'm being treated or something like that. So there's so many obstacles.
How do you overcome them?
Trying to surrender to the present moment, and just like the traffic, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but I know that it's temporary, and eventually, just through patience, determination, and enthusiasm, you can overcome it.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? If you're comfortable. No compulsion. Yes, go ahead.
I think it's a really wonderful, aspiration to have bodhicitta. So the idea of waking up, not just for, I want to leave samsara and leave suffering behind, but to remain in the cycle of all the realms until everybody wakes up and gets out of here. And I just love all of those traditions that we have in my lineage. So I'm on that, hopefully on that path, meditating with a practice instructor, going to Dharma talks, participating in different rituals, but my sangha doesn't sing enough, so that's why I'm here. And we don't really stretch. There's a little bit of yoga and movement, but I'm doing yoga to support my seated meditation practice.
Right. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? While you're thinking about it, one of the things that occurred to me also is, think about a small child. And we see a child and they're so innocent and they're fearless. They're carefree. Why? Why do you think so? Why do you think they're fearless, carefree, nothing really worries them?
Because they're in the present moment. They don't have the conditioning, they don't have, they're a clean slate.
Yeah.
And when they do experience something negative, it's much more intense for them because they have no perspective on it. They don't consider that they're going to feel differently later.
Yeah. Anybody else? Feel free to share.
they have a certain curiosity about things. They're not kind of jaded by, you know, how things have been for so long in their life.
Right.
You know, they have that wonder about things.
Yep. You're all right. Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
Everything is new.
Everything is new.
They have no bad memories.
No bad memories. Except spiders and cockroaches and stuff, maybe. Yeah, how about, you know, they feel sheltered. Suddenly we grow up and then we become adults and we want to be independent and have all the freedom and we want to do everything, but what did we lose? Shelter. Just think about it. You know, if you felt that shelter, we can also be childlike. Do you agree? If you disagree, feel free to say so. And you know, again, we are all learning here together. It's not a one-way thing. I'm just sharing, and I know everything. No, I mean, because and that's where the diversity comes from, right? Because we all have our own experiences and backgrounds and context and such. So we can all learn from each other. But it's just being sheltered. So from a purposeful journey standpoint, you know, like what you said, but the one term that I would use is shelter. Because when we feel that shelter, then we automatically feel the love within, you know, come out. Because even children, if you know, they don't judge anybody. Everybody is equal to, you know, small children. Have you ever felt like, how would it be if my, you know, the child in me just came out? Wouldn't that be great? That's possible. It's totally possible when we follow this whole process and feel that shelter and feel the true love from within. And when we do that, then all these different things that come along the way. And if you see kids, even, you know, when you're stuck in traffic, yeah, of course, sometimes they go, you know, how many of you have heard this? Are we there yet? Right? And then you just play something and they're happy, they're just watching something, or you know, before there was all this video and such, you just give them something to fidget with, they'll fidget with it, and they're off. I mean, but as we grow up, then all these different things start coming in. Pleasure, pain, all the dualities, and so on and so forth.
And responsibility.
Responsibility, of course. And there are times when we take on more than what we need to. We feel like the whole world is revolving and rotating because of us. Right? It's like, how will this work if I'm not around? It worked before we came, it will work after we leave as well. Nothing's going to stop. Because all this feeling is actually attaching us, you know, we are not able to give up. And that's why we feel this. There are a couple of terms that are used in Sanskrit called raga and dvesha. Raga is something that I like, dvesha is something that I don't like, I dislike. And every step of the way, I mean, you can actually kind of reflect when you're going through your day. Every step of the way, our mind says, I like this, I dislike this. I like this, I dislike this. Have you ever thought about it that way? So at the end of the day, just take a step back and reflect on your day and see how many times you've had this going in your mind, I like this, I don't like this. And then there is a very deep dislike and like as well. It's abhinivesh, that's a term that's used. Raga Abhinivesh and Dvesha Abhinivesh, which is, it's very deep dislike and like. So along our path, all these will come, dislikes, likes, and then strong likes and strong dislikes. So, but still, how are we focused on that single purpose and keep moving on, keep moving forward? The forward momentum is really important, because there are times when we hear about people getting so depressed. Why? Why does that happen? It's because of these strong likes and strong dislikes. And there are some strong likes, and when they don't get it, then they feel depressed. But when we have the right knowledge, it will help us cross across all of those. Because we know what? It is temporary, it is transient. But as long as the goal is permanent, something that's permanent, then all these different things that are along the path that is transient will not matter at all. So with this, I'll finish with one point for you to contemplate on. What matters the most in your life? What is your purpose? And what are those things that are coming in the way, possibly, and how can you overcome them? So I'll finish here. If there are any questions, feel free to ask, or even anything you want to share from this talk. Hope it was useful, and give us suggestions, and we're welcome to those that are here for the first time. Hopefully we can see you more as well. But any questions, comments, suggestions? Anybody? Yes?
I was thinking what you said earlier about the child feeling shelter, and as adults, sometimes we feel like we have to create our own shelter. And then those moments where maybe that childlike nature comes out in us, that adult shelter tries to almost push the child away in us, because we feel like we've got it under control, we can take care of things. But if we realize that the divine are our true shelter, then we can maintain that childlike nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You summarized it better than me. All right. We'll end here at this talk, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the program. But I'll be around. There are others as well who will be around. So if you have any questions or anything that you would like to discuss, feel free. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful talk. So I know it can get easy for our legs to feel a little tired, and we start to meditate on that instead. So I'm going to ask Bhakta Prabhu to lead us in Haribol stretching.
Everybody stand up. And then on three, we'll reach toward the sky and say, Haribol. So 1, 2, 3. Haribol! A couple more times. 1, 2, 3. Haribol! And one more time. 1, 2, 3. Haribol! Deep exhale.
What are we saying?
Haribol means glory to Hari, to the divine, and awakening that divine.
Just
within
Haribol?
us. Yes.
It's a sound of happiness.
Yes.
Haribol.
Joy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever you feel happy, just say Haribol.
All right, I'll ask our Kirtan team to reassemble at the front. it in the mic stand. Wait, this mic to her. He has a mic. She has a mic, yeah. You can put it in this mic stand and then you can sing and play. Chaitanya, and you can repeat after me. Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Chandraya, Namo, Namaste.
Namaste.
And, oh, sorry, just a second. So I'll try to talk and do this at the same time, but never mind, I'm not going to try to do that. One thing at a time. So Chaitanya references one name of the divine. The divine goes by many names because someone who is unlimited has unlimited powers, names, forms. So Chaitanya is one form of the divine who is known to be very merciful. And this mantra is explaining Chaitanya, who is like the moon, Chandraya. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I started doing this recently. If you just look up at the moon and observe how beautiful it is, there's texture. It's not quite white, but it's off-white, and it's just like a golden, glowing complexion. So Chaitanya, who is like the moon, Namo Namaste, I offer my respects to you. So in order to approach spiritual knowledge, in order to approach higher power, you can't, in today's day and age, I don't know what you can or can't do, but you can't technically storm into the White House and be like, I want to meet the president. You typically have to do so in a humble state of mind. You have to approach someone. So this is, you can think of this mantra as our approach to Chaitanya, and you can meditate and ask for spiritual knowledge and prowess. So we just have one final kirtan in the evening, which will be the Maha Mantra led by Hari. Like I mentioned earlier, Maha means the greatest, and Mantra means to free. And sometimes we wish, or sometimes we may actually do this in real life. I know sometimes I do it. Oh, I have a headache, this hurts, that hurts, allergies, I'm just pop an ibuprofen. The solver of all problems. But for any problem in life, you have to follow a regimen. So this mantra is like a prescription. And it is said that this mantra in itself, sincere chanting of it with attentiveness, can help us connect with spiritual knowledge in an authentic manner that helps us live peacefully. So we're going to do a little bit of shuffling. And one thing about the final kirtan is, what is the ultimate goal in this material world? It's very easy to give a complicated answer.
To dance through life.
To dance through life. It's to be happy, right? And one of the most authentic forms of expression of happiness is physical movement or dance. And oftentimes it's very easy for dance to become something that is seen in a material sense, but when you combine it with spiritual sound and mantras, we're able to unlock a deeper sense of happiness. So we know our studio is not very big, and the way dancing works is typically we'll start sitting down, but as the mantra picks up, as the beat picks up, you're more than welcome to join. If you find that that is not your calling, you can just come to the front, move to the sides, just make sure that you're a little clear from being trampled over. You want to avoid any lawsuits.
The mantra mosh pit.
Yes. Trademark pending.
That'd be a good band name for sure.
We'll put on a t-shirt. But yeah, all right. Harry, over to you. Maybe we'll get Bhakta Das to play the bass guitar like they're playing outside now.
Crank it up.
Yeah.
Hare
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we end, we have some quick announcements. Feel free to grab a seat if you would like. It'll just take maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. So before we end, I quickly want to first of all acknowledge all of our amazing Kirtan leaders tonight. We had Niharika in the blue skirt. We had Anirudh playing the mridanga drum. We had Hari lead us for the first and third Kirtan. We had Bhaktadas on the bass guitar. And finally, all of our Kirtan singers, dancers, and chanters. So real quick before we end, just wanted to share a little bit about some upcoming events we have. So tomorrow, we have a dot mandala and art plus yoga workshop. So it's a great way to just meet like-minded spiritual community. It's a great place to hang out, honestly, and it's a fun time. The instructor, Bryn, she's just an amazing person. I know there's no QR code, but you can find details on our website. In addition, on August 23rd, which is a Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m., we have a Bhakti open mic. Sunday. Yeah, it's on Sunday. So this is a great chance if you have a desire to play an instrument in Kirtan, learn an instrument, you have a mantra that you want to sing, this is a great place to share that in community. In addition, we have 2 very cool events happening on August 8th and 9th. So there is a Purpose and Peace Retreat, which is going to be led by Braj Vihari. He is a monk. Not only that, but he is a monk who has deeply internalized this spiritual tradition of Bhakti Yoga. We have spent hours and hours talking with him, and he's just such a practical human being when it comes to spirituality. There's one thing which I really love. He's a very deep journaler. He really believes in journaling, and he actually was showing his journal one day to us, and he was showing how he actually writes notes of gratitude and wishes to other people in his journals, which I thought was so beautiful. But anyways, he by the end of the year, he typically has 400, 500 pages of journals, and that actually becomes a book each year. So he's actually a published author as well. So please don't miss it. So Purpose and Peace Retreat. And then there's another one the day after, which is Bhakti in Modern Life. So this is a way to go deeper into Bhakti Yoga philosophy specifically. So if you find that you come to the first day and you're like, wow, I really just want to go deeper into it, the second day is a chance to go deeper. Or if you feel like you just want to go right into it, go deep into it, you already have some understanding of Bhakti Yoga, spirituality, then you can join us on the second day. These events were finalized literally 3 hours ago. They weren't on the slide deck until like 30 minutes ago, so that's why there's no QR code, but in the upcoming days, there'll be a way to register for them. And then finally, this one I'm very excited for. It was the wonderful idea of Rachel, who is right here. So she was mentioning that it would be fun to go to Green Lake and do Kirtan with kayaking. So join us again.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. You get the idea? The chant goes with the way you have it. Okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. You're getting it. You're getting it.
I used to row for Green Lake a long time ago.
Yeah, so this will be really fun. The schedule, we're going to publish it real soon, and it's going to be on our Eventbrite, hopefully in the next upcoming few days as well. Okay, and then finally, one last thing I wanted to discuss. So there is currently a global campaign going on. The authentic spirituality of India is slowly diminishing, and it's only the surface level depths or the surface level practices of yoga are becoming prevalent. One of our mottos is rooted in tradition, not trends, because yoga is a very deep philosophical practice. So there's a global campaign going on. So there's a set of books over here known as the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the epitome of Bhakti Yoga wisdom and literature. The Bhagavad Gita is known as the essence So the Bhagavad Gita is, it's a book about this thick. Some of you may have read it or seen it, but this is very, very much in depth. And the history behind this book is that, essentially, yes, this is the Gita, so this is, the succinct version. But the idea behind this book is that 5,000 years ago, at the beginning of the Kali Yuga, so the Kali Yuga is the current age that we live in, which is known as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there were many great sages who gathered in a forest known as Naimisharanya. So I was mentioning this a little bit briefly at the beginning. And these sages were concerned about the betterment of humanity. Rather, they were more specifically concerned about the decline of human values and human customs and the way that humans are facilitating themselves in this world. And they essentially understood that Kali Yuga is going to be a very difficult time. People will be distracted, people will be hypocrites, people will fight, people will do all sorts of these things and be troubled by many difficulties. So they asked Vyasadeva, who is a very learned scholar, to speak spiritual knowledge which is pertinent to the current time, age, circumstance that we live in. And they asked him to explain the essence of the spiritual science. So this is also an essence, right? So spiritual science is very, very deep. So this is the essence of that, and the essence of that is the Gita. So this is, still, but again, people used to live for thousands and thousands of years. Now our lifespans are continuing to shorten. So it is said that these books are a great way to dive into the philosophy of spirituality, such as what is the highest good of humanity. So Sutta Goswami, who was the sage, he narrated all of the sitting in one single sitting to these sages in Naimisharanya. And essentially, the books offer a glimpse into the future, the current, and the past. And it looks very intimidating. We had these books sitting on our shelf for many years before I actually cracked one open. I started reading it about 1.5 years ago, and it's changed my life. But I felt like ever since it entered our home, there was a vibration that came from it, which was very potent. So that being said, I keep coming back to this global campaign, which I haven't finished that thought on. Sorry, there's parallel streams of thoughts happening. So this global campaign is to help put 100,008 sets of these volumes of books into the hands of spiritual people so we can preserve this knowledge of Bhakti Yoga and the practice of yoga as it was meant to be. And the thing about books is that they're very powerful. Even if you don't read them now, they'll be read eventually, either by yourself or by someone else. There's a reason why we value books so much as a society. You can't throw them away. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to throw away a book. It's really hard because it's knowledge and we respect knowledge. So that being said, if you're looking to bring some auspiciousness into your life, if you're looking for something that can help decipher some of the biggest questions of humanity or biggest questions about your soul, please do consider taking a set. They are typically $200, but Deepak or Damodar has graciously volunteered to cover either all the cost or part of the cost if you're not able to give the full 200. Our goal specifically in the studio is to get it into the hands of 108 people. So we started last week and it's gone into the hands of 4 or 5 wonderful families, and we'd love, we have 4 boxes with us today. If you would like to take a set, we would love to facilitate that, and it's just an exchange of love, because I have seen myself how these books have transformed my life and brought a sense of spiritual desire, but spiritual, the word's not coming into my head, but like the idea that everything is going to be okay. Shelter, yes, exactly. And
not even as daunting as it looks, because if you read only like 10, 15 verses every day, you'll be done in 5 years, and that will be the postgraduate study of all spiritual knowledge.
Yes, yeah. One of my spiritual teachers says, page by page, become a sage. So you can just decide to read 1 page a day, read 5 pages a day, read 10 pages a day, 20 pages a day, whatever works. But slowly you can get through it, and it really does make a difference. Like I've been reading for about 1.5 years, 10 to 20 pages a day, and I would say I'm on Canto 4 out of 12. So, making progress. All right.
note on the kayak, okay? The cost of the kayaks will be subsidized. So don't let anybody, the $28 for renting the kayak for an hour, don't let anybody stop you for that, okay?
Otherwise, Rachel will come to your house and grab you. No, she has very lovingly desired that this happen, and we want to make it happen for her because it's just such a wonderful idea. And you know, yoga is not just meant to be an individual practice, but it's also meant to be fun at its heart. It's meant to be very playful, as we discussed. So we really want, you know, it's going to be a really fun time. And plus, we'll all, like always, have some wonderful food. And speaking of food, we have some wonderful food. So, some logistics. If you have some dietary restrictions, we have volunteers who will be serving. Nupur, do you need any volunteers?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. One more thing. There's one very exciting announcement. Farron, just stay here. Yes. So, Bhakta Prabhu and Farron recently just got engaged. So, just some words of appreciation for both of them. I mean, Bhakta Das started coming here. I mean, he's been practicing Bhakti Yoga for way longer than I have. In fact, he was a monk previously before he re-entered into the Grihastha ashram, or, you know, the life that many of us live. But he's sincere, just such a humble soul. He comes week after week. He drives about an hour from Tacoma to come and play bass guitar, lead kirtans, or help out in any way possible. And the first time he brought Farron, we were like, who is this? You know, because, but we've slowly, at least as I've personally gotten to know Farron, I realized that she's just such a sweet person at heart, and she embodies so many of the spiritual values. I think one of the very first times she came, she brought like cookies, and they were honestly some of the best like cookies I've ever had. This is not me saying to bring them, but maybe kind of saying to bring them. But they're just such wonderful people. They live such simple spiritual lives. I had a chance to go to their home, and it just flowed with spiritual ecstasy, you know. There's just so much life in their small little home ashram. So
we are going to embarrass them more. They have to feed each other a dessert. This is ridiculous.
okay, and we're going to chant one Maha Mantra for them for auspiciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you all so much.
All right.
Thank you.
No, thank you. All right. So now to the next part, which is the food. So some logistics. You're going to exit out this door right here where Nupur is standing in the pink. You're going to go down the hallway, take a U-turn at the roundabout, and re-enter in through the main entrance, where we'll have some wonderful volunteers waiting to serve you. If you're looking to get some seva in, I believe we need one or two more people who might be able to help serve the food just for a few minutes. But that being said, thank you so much.